Pero dito sa pagtingin niyo, Prof, dito sa midterm elections natin, ano sa tingin mo yung yung parang complexion talaga ng midterm na ito compared to previous midterm elections? Ano yung mga defining narratives dito?
Well, the defining event would really be the conflict between two prominent individuals, national personalities, between Bongbong Marcos and Sara Duterte. Tapos si Sara Duterte ay binakapan ng sarili niyang pamilya. Si Bongbong Marcos naman ay nagbuo ng isang alyansa na kinabibilangan ng iba't ibang individual na medyo may pagka-popular. But I think in defining event really would be, or defining, it's not an event. It's a condition that we've seen boiling up from 2023, yung away sa pagitan ni Bongbong at ng mga Duterte.
Yung bang yung decision ng Marcos administration na arestuhin si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte at dalhin dyan sa The Hague, sa ICC, how significant was it dito sa pagtaas ng numero ng kanyang mga kandidato?
Nakita yun nung March, but hindi na ganun kalakas nung Abril. Yung pagtaas ng mga PDP, medyo nakita between February and March survey, pero hindi na ganun influential in terms of voting preference in April. Parang na-dissipate na yung sympathy. Sabi ko nga, parang na-activate yung base, but it did not expand beyond the base of the Dutertes.
Kung ganun, how do you explain the high ratings nitong mga Duterte candidates so far sa partial unofficial? Anong pwedeng rito paliwanag?
Pero yung proportion ng support, let's say, for Marcoleta and Bato de la Rosa are almost close to what we got in the survey, no? I don't know whether this will still increase. For example, si Bato right now is 14.6 million. So that's close to the minimum number that required for winning. But he might go up to, the last figure that we had for Bato de la Rosa was 41%. So I don't know whether that would be the same share of the total votes for the Senate that he will get. Si Marcoleta at this point, hirap nito, maraming masyadong linya, no? 11 million. So hindi natin alam kung magpapatuloy.
Senator, mukhang talo ka sa pustahan kasi sabi mo before, me and Bato would lose. Pero kung pag-uusapan yung partial unofficial, mukhang papasok yung dalawa. At least partial unofficial.
Si Aimee, hindi pa sure.
Hindi pa sure, no?
Well, yung nasa dulo, dikit-dikit eh. Diba? Dikit-dikit. Kaya pwede pang, marami pang pwede mangyari. Sabi nga ni Tokayo, doon sa previous episode natin, yung last 6 gumagalaw pa eh. Gumagalaw pa. At mukhang dito gumagalaw nga. Yung last 6 na yan, and perhaps even more. Hindi lang last 6, baka yung 8 gumagalaw pa eh. No? Kaya hindi ko pa isusuko yung pusta ko doon. No? Pero ang mahalaga rito ay mukhang nabuhay, nag-deliver yung pink wave sa Senate, sa party list, and mukhang pati sa mga local elections. Ibig sabihin ay yung pink wave ay nag-consolidate, may counting surge, at nakakuha sila dun sa mga disenchanted sa unity team. No? So mukhang ang delikado rito na maging biggest loser ay yung gobyerno. No? Mukhang sila yung nangangani. Oo. Sila yung pinakadelikado rito. Dahil mukhang yung hindi na factor in na pink wave, mukhang buhay pa. At pwedeng magkaroon ng significance going into 2028. At of course, yung Duterte na inaasahan naman natin na nag-consolidate din, na nag-tighten, ay mukhang nagde-deliver din. Ang mukhang talagang tinatamaan ay yung administration. Hindi lamang sa hindi lamang sa Senate, kundi pati sa party list.
I-address muna natin yung elephant in the room. Kung mag-hold itong partial unofficial results na ito, ano sa tingin niyo yung magiging kinabukasan ng Sara Duterte impeachment trial? Conviction or acquittal?
Acquitted, tingin ko. based on these partial unofficial numbers. Looks like an acquittal to me. Sen, what do you think?
I agree.
Kung magpapatuloy itong trend sa election, with 60% of the votes counted, medyo nasa isang weak position yung gobyerno at this point, no? But then again, tingnan natin kung yung final result, no? At saka, pero for now, indicatively, mukhang medyo hirap yung gobyerno going into impeachment in 2028. Pero siyempre, depende pa rin yan kung ano yung gagawin ng Malacanang. Dahil marami pa rin mga kapangyarihan yung Malacanang na pwedeng i-play out sa Senado. Pero for now, very uphill. Kung dati ay uphill, ngayon ay very, very uphill.
Not looking good. Dante Marcoleta is another big surprise, no? Staunch Duterte supporter, mukhang pumasok pa.
Actually, dito sa partial unofficial results, no, kung mag-hold nga ito, kung wala magiging pagbabago, sa bilang ko lang naman, pwedeng ituring na at least 5 dito boboto for acquittal.
Including the ones who are, including the allies who are currently seated, she only needs 8. So yeah, it's a super uphill climb, as Sen Edu says.
Ito pala, no, again, yung post-mortem natin, hindi pa naman talaga to definitive dahil partial unofficial lang, no? Pero isang nakikita kong narrative dito, parang yung yung resurgence ng Duterte brand. If ever nag-dissipate kahit pa paano yung brand nila, no? As claimed by others. Would you agree? Kasi pag tinan natin yung resulta, yung mga kandidato ng mga Duterte, ang taas sa senatorial. Tapos, Davao, dominated nila based on partial and unofficial. Duterte Youth, so far, number 2 sa party list. So, would you agree? Ito
absolutely agree.
Dito.
I'd absolutely agree. And sadly, no, as Senator Edu was pointing out, it's also a combination of it's pulling it from both ends. Bukod sa resurgence of the Duterte brand, it's also clear that there is a rejection. I don't want to say rejection. There is a protest vote against the admin. Looks like people are dissatisfied. Talaga. Looks like people are not happy with the way the current admin is running things, and I think it's reflecting in the polls.
Or they also didn't like the decision of the administration to arrest Duterte and send him to the ATC.
Exactly. So ano yan, isa sa key components yan na nakakabuo ng kanilang dislike pizza pie. So it's a pizza pie with many ingredients, but one of the main components of that is hindi nila nagustuhan yung pagtrato sa dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ang daming dynamics nitong election na to. Well, actually, a while ago, I was telling Sen Edu, this was a bit of a boring election for me, but now it's turning out to be quite an exciting one.
Puntahan natin congressional race, no? Kasi dalawa sa mga nasa front lines ng pakikipagbakbakan sa mga Duterte, kongresista. Tatlo sa kanila. Kongresista sa sa Manila.
That's
pero
Joel Chua, that's Benny Abante and
Valeriano.
And Valeriano, yes, who made that speech.
Pero to si Joel Chua, no? He's in a tough fight. No? Dikit sila ng apple niya ito, base sa partial and official. And itong si Benny Abante, dikit na dikit din with Joey Uy.
Dikit na dikit. I think really Duterte supporting city. I think it's that really. I think the Duterte brand is strong and alive in Manila. I think of course I can't quote figures. I can't say it with any certainty, pero I think the numbers will back up my conjecture na medyo kinalaban nila yung Duterte brand head on, and they suffered for it.
Nakatulong ba dyan yung strong campaign ni Sara against them?
Absolutely. That's especially where she said it, di ba? Yung audience, you gotta give it to the Dutertes. They know how to play their audience. They know how to play to their audience. So para sa mga ibang tao, magugulat sila, masyashock sila, mahuhulog sila sa sila nila, oh my God, talaga bang sinabi na yon? Kumuha naman sanas at isaksak sa bibig ng isang sitting congressman hanggang mamatay, nagugulat. But you know, you have to give it to the Dutertes. Alam nila yung timpla ng crowd, alam nila yung moment ng crowd, yung momentum, yung feelings. They know how to work it, and look at what happened. I think it really helped a lot, or at least worked against these congressmen. Yung impeachment kasi, here's the thing about the impeachment process, no? You can have the strongest evidence, you can have the most well thought of argument, talagang napakaganda ng pagkakalatag mo, talagang kahit sinong makinig, mayayanig at malalaman, oo nga, no, talagang ano yan, talagang krimen yung mga pinagagawa ng ini-impeach. But it is not a criminal process. It is not a judicial process. It is a political process. So kahit anong mangyari, mauuwi yan sa boto ng mga senator jurors. At base sa partial and unofficial results, kahit gaano kaganda pa yung pagkakalatag ng prosecution team, mukhang ang mga kaalyado ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte, I think, will vote to acquit her. At mukhang makukuha niya yung numbers dahil 8 lang ang kailangan niya.